Today's topic: how to start a text conversation with a guy. Today I want to show you step by step how you can start a texting conversation that is not boring but engaging, that won't push him away, but that will magnetically attract him to you. And the first thing you have to keep in mind, and that's actually something that has to do with your mindset, or let's say with the way you send texts in general, and that's that you should only send text messages with a purpose. A lot of times women in Skype coaching sessions ask me to have a look at their text messages, which if you decide to book a Skype coaching session with me, we can do. I can have a look at your text messages, I can give you feedback to them, and I can tell you what to text instead. And most of the time, when I think back to all the amazing women who I coached who shared their text messages with me, they often send messages without a purpose. They send so-called small talk texts. How are you? How have you been? What are you doing? What's going on? And what you want to do instead is to create an emotional reaction. This is what texting should be all about. In fact, this is what communication and having conversations is all about. You also don't want to be on a date and bore him with small talk in the same way as you don't get excited when a guy bores you with small talk. And the same is true for texting. Unfortunately, a lot of times we think, we don't want to do small talk when we're then on a physical date, but for some reason we do it via text. And that's something that I want you to change by changing your mindset. So whenever you text him, ask yourself, what's the purpose of this text message? And I know that sounds a little bit extreme to ask yourself this question whenever you send a text. But when you do that, your text won't just get better, but you will also send more deliberate texts. Which means you won't send 10 texts that lead to nothing, but you will send one message that actually leads to something. So instead of saying, how are you? How have you been? Ask yourself how you can create positive emotions in him by sending a text message. You, for example, want to make him laugh. You want to make him think about you. You want to make him see you in a positive way. These are all things that you can do by putting the tips that I share with you in this episode into practice. And what I also want to share with you before we get started with the first practical tip is that double texts are not the best thing, but sometimes unavoidable. And that's something that I often experience with my Skype coaching clients when they are, for example, dating or they want to date a man who's a doctor, a lawyer, a business owner, a man with an extremely tight schedule. In this case, he just sometimes forgets it because he's so busy. He has to text his clients, he has to text his work colleagues, he has to work a lot. For example, in my relationship with my girlfriend, I told her from the get-go to use a very specific app to text me. Why do I do that? Because I have a lot of clients, a lot of business partners who I text with all the time, and I don't check these messages every minute. Otherwise I would go crazy. That's why I also don't have notifications on my phone, because I receive so many texts and emails all the time. I have multiple businesses, and that's the result of this lifestyle. And that's why I told her, text me please on this app, then I read it and I will reply to you. And if you're, for example, not at this stage yet with such a man, and he has a busy lifestyle, and you are not his girlfriend yet, and he didn't tell you how to reach him in the best possible way, because, you're just not there yet at this level of trust, then it's okay to at least sometimes, but only if he's really busy and if you know that he has a terribly busy schedule, then it's okay to send a double text. And what you can do on a practical level is to make a reference to something that you talked about before. Either in another texting conversation that you had before, or for example, when you met this man in person, maybe you met him at a dinner party, or maybe he approached you somewhere at the mall, or maybe you know him through a friend. Think about what you've talked about the last time you saw him. Maybe you were sharing something about your hobbies, or he told you about his hobbies. Then make a reference to that. Or he told you about his career, about his job. Then you can make a reference to that. Or maybe you talked about passions, about your bucket list. Then make a reference to that. This is the most natural way of starting a texting conversation, because he gets the feeling that you just continue the conversation in the same way as you ended it before, which is the most natural thing to do. If you, for example, ended the conversation while talking about kittens or puppies, and you then start the texting conversation again by mentioning kittens and puppies, then there's a natural flow in the conversation, and that's what you want. But what you can also do is to start the texting conversation with a funny meme or a GIF. And that's something that I also do with my girlfriend. I even did that at a time when we weren't together yet. I always started texting conversations with these ridiculous minion GIFs. But I didn't do that because I wanted to impress her with it, or maybe a little bit. Maybe I wanted to make her smile and laugh. But I also love the minions. Yes, I admit it, as a man, I love the minions. Sena banana, yum yum. And that's why I often use this kind of meme or GIF to send her a text message, or at least to start the texting conversation. And then the moment she saw it, she was smiling, she was sending me a laugh smiley, and then it was very easy for me to transition from this start to a very natural conversation, because the moment she saw this meme or this GIF, she was already in a happy mood. And you can do the exact same thing with the guy that you want to make your boyfriend. And speaking of, if you want to make him your boyfriend, you also want him to fall in love with you. And that's why it's a good idea to start the texting conversation with a message that has the potential to make him fall in love with you. And this message has been designed to trigger uncontrollable feelings of desire and a strong emotional connection in him. And if you want to use this message, or let's say in the first step, find out more about this message and how you can use the psychology behind this message, then you can go to gethimkeephim.com/text or click on the first link in the description. And if you then click on this link, watch this video till the very end, because this is truly an eye-opening video. And I want to be 100% transparent with you. If you click on the link in the description and you then watch the video, you also have the chance to invest in an incredible program that can help you to not only send more effective text messages, but that can also help you to make your man fall in love with you. And start the texting conversation with a beautiful selfie that makes his heart melt. And no, I'm not talking about anything naughty here. Just a genuine smile. That's all you need. And maybe you want to wear your most beautiful dress. Or maybe you're just at work and you want to show him how much you're crushing it in your job and you want to send him a smiley face. I mean, your smiley face. That's what I mean. A smiley selfie, if you can say it like that. Well, English is not my first language, so forgive me. So in this case, you show him how happy you are, and when he sees your smile, he will be happy too. It will create positive emotions in him, and remember, that's exactly what you want to do. And what you can also do is to ask him a question and let him fulfill his manly purpose of solving your problem. And there's one video on YouTube that I think every woman on this planet, maybe also you, hate so much. And that's the video "It's Not About the Nail." And when I watched this video with my girlfriend for the very first time, or let's say when I showed it to her, she just giggled and said, "Oops." What I mean by that is that men absolutely love to solve problems. There's nothing that makes a man happier than when he can solve your problem. We are biologically designed and programmed to solve problems. So if you start the texting conversation with a question and you allow him to fulfill his manly purpose of solving your problem, then in the process, he will develop stronger feelings for you. I know it's very hard to believe, but that's how we men are biologically programmed. And what you can also do if you want to start a texting conversation with a guy is to send him a link to a song or a movie clip that you absolutely love. And there are multiple reasons why this is so effective. First of all, we go back to creating positive emotions. If you, for example, send him a clip of a really funny movie, or you send him a clip of a really uplifting song, or maybe even a romantic song, a love song, if you're already at the stage where you can admit your feelings to him, then this will increase his feelings for you even more. And that's why it's also so important that when you do that, that you don't send him something that creates negative emotions. I mean, if a woman, for example, would send me a link to a horror movie where multiple people get, I don't even want to talk about it, then of course I wouldn't feel these positive emotions. Send him something that's positive, send him something that's uplifting, send him something that's funny. And this also allows him to get to know you better, because the music we listen to, the songs we like, and the movies we like, or let's say even if it's just a YouTuber, the YouTubers we watch, all these things tell something about our personality, what we like, what we don't like. And you not only give him the opportunity to continue the conversation because of the thing that you sent him, but you also give him the chance to get to know you better. And let him know that you were just thinking of him, and maybe even what you were thinking about. And you can start this text in so many different ways, depending on the stage of your relationship. You can, for example, make it all romantic and lovey-dovey, and you can let him know that you thought about him, how he was holding you, how he was kissing you the last time. Or if you're not at this stage yet, you can also just let him know that you were thinking about the last date you had with him, or you were thinking about something he mentioned in an earlier conversation that made you really happy. You can use all these techniques that I shared with you to start a text conversation with a guy. And if you also want to make him fall in love with you, like I said before, you can click on the first link in the description or go to gethimkeephim.com/text. And of course, if you want to share the text message that you sent him and also the text messages he sent you with me, then you can book a Skype coaching session with me. I can have a look at the text conversation. I can let you know if this guy is actually interested in you or not. And I can also let you know what you should text him instead. And we can find a way how you can attract this guy, or maybe attract an even better man for you. I've helped so many amazing women to get and to keep the man of their dreams, and I would be honored if you allowed me to help you on your journey. And if you're now ready to book a Skype coaching session with me, then you can go to gethimkeephim.com/Skype, or you can click on the second link in the description. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. And leave a comment in the comment section below. Share your opinion, share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I would love it even more if you would hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.